good afternoon Nunda. Yeah, good afternoon all. So today we are going to see about how we can develop Android application using Kotlin. So welcome to PANTECH e-learning. So first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Kamalesh. I am a senior data scientist of PANTECH e-learning. So today we are going to see about how we can develop the application, Android application, and what are the way we can develop the Android application, and we will see about some of the features of Android 10 and difference between Java and Kotlin, and then introduction to OSs, that is before Android what are the OS we used and now what are the OS we are using, and then introduction to Android, and then introduction to Kotlin, and then Kotlin compilers, and then Kotlin versus Java, then future of Android 10. So these are the area we are covering in today's session. Okay, so those who are interested to gain the knowledge between Android, you can see this one. So this is most important thing. So let we come to the first session, introduction to OS. Okay, so when we hear about this, we already use some of the Android applications also. Like we used more before Android came, we used n number of OSs like Blackberry or some other Lumia. Okay, so we use it for Nokia's mobile phones. Like that, we use different type of OSs, right? So we will see about first of all what are the different type of OSs we used in before Android arrived, and then what were the features we were using in Android. Okay, so first of all, let introduction to OSs, that is operating system. So here we have different type of mobile operating system like Blackberry or like iOS or like Bada OS or Mozilla Firefox also have some OSs, and Android we have Symbian we have, and then Windows OS also we have. Okay, so let me see one by one what are the OSs previously we used in before Android OSs came. So one of the first OS is Windows OS. So mostly we will use in Nokia Lumia mobile phones, right? So before Android came, we started to using Windows OS only, but mostly the Windows OS is a operating system developed by Microsoft smartphones and then Pocket PCs. Okay, so mostly Windows Mobile is developed by Microsoft and Microsoft company only. Okay, so it's for mobile phones and Pocket PCs. So now what is the main disadvantage of this OS is upgrading is difficult. For example, when we started to using mobile phones at the time, like touch mobile phones, at the time the Nokia Lumia mobile phones like that, and some other Blackberry mobile phones have some OSs, right? But what is the main disadvantage of OS is they are not upgrading to 3G and 4G technologies. So that is one of the most disadvantage of the OS. So that's why even nowadays Nokia also enter into the Android mobile operating system, that is Android operating system. Okay, so this is one of the thing mostly first Google announced the Android OS in 2007 or something. At the time most of the mobile phone companies are signed with Google, but one of the Microsoft, that is Nokia, Microsoft Windows is not signed with the Android. But now the Nokia also signed with Google, and then they are giving the mobile phones with the Android OS only. Okay, so why? Because they are not having some upgradable things like 2G to 3G or 4G capacity. Okay, so that's why they are started to use even Android also. Okay, the next one is Symbian. Symbian is the another type of OS. It seems like a Android, but it's not an Android. Why? Because it's very hard to touch. Okay, so normally Android is like a feather touch. We will use our finger, we can touch the whatever we need, we can touch, and we can enter into the web browsers or some galleries like that. But if we use this Symbian OS, we need to touch even more harder. Why? Because the OS is built like that only. Okay, so that is called as Symbian OS. So Symbian OS mobile operating system mainly have a computing platform for smartphones only. This is currently maintained by Accenture. Okay, so till we have the Symbian OS, Accenture only maintaining this Symbian OS. And then we have Bada OS. It's mostly like mostly 70% of 70% it's like a Android only, right? So you can see the picture, so it's look like a Android only. So generally it's called as a Bada OS. So the Bada is the one of the OS developed by Samsung Electronics only. Okay, and then programmed by C and Java language. And one of the source model is it's a open source and proprietary. Okay, so it's a open source only. So for open source is nothing but whatever you can remodify your own way also. So for example, if you have generally if you take some mobile companies, okay, so Google is releasing Android 10 and Android 11, 12, like that they are releasing some versions, right? But after they are releasing the versions, okay, some other mobile phone companies like MI or Samsung or like OnePlus, okay, Vivo, they are using their own UI. For example, if you take an Samsung means they have called as a like one UI is there. Okay, so we can use within one hand whatever the cell is, we can use whatever it is within one can. Okay, but if you take an OnePlus means we have Oxygen OS. Okay, so they remodified the original OS, that is stock OS. Okay, when the first the Google is introduced the Android 10 or 11 any version, they introduced it with stock Android only. Stock Android is nothing but pure Android of that version. Okay, so after they are getting the pure Android of the version, each and every mobile phone companies will change their OS according to their own customization. For example, if you take an OnePlus, they will call as a Oxygen OS. If you take an Lenovo, they will call as a Vibe. And then if you take a Redmi, they will call as a like they will call something. And for Realme, they will call as a for Redmi they will call as a MUI, and then Realme they will call as a like Color OS, right? So like that they will re-modify the original stock Android into their own customization, and then they are giving to us. Okay, so nowadays we are using some Android phones. That Android phone is not a real Android OS. They are customized according to the mobile phone companies. Okay, so if you need real OS, that is pure Android also, some of the mobile phones will come with a stock Android mobile phone. Okay, you can use that mobile phone and you use your stock Android, that is pure Android. Okay, and another thing also we have like Android 1, and Android 1 is nothing but you will be get an upgrade, that is you will be get an update for some of the few years consequently. You will be get an update for 3 years or 4 years. Okay, so that is we have called as an Android 1, and stock Android is a pure Android. And for minimum configuration mobile phones, for example like we have 2 GB RAM only, or we have only 1 GB RAM type of mobile phones and all. Google separately introduced their Android Go. Okay, so it's Android Go is nothing but, for example, nowadays the apps are like if you take one app application, it will be have n number of memories. Okay, so those apps will be installed in 1 GB RAM, means it's most difficult. So that's why the Google introduced the new application. It's called as the Android Go. Okay, so using Android Go or Android Go versions type of OS, you can install the apps whatever you need. Okay, so that is one of the Android Go. So like this, we have different type of Android application OS in each and every scatter, for example. Okay, so that's why mostly we are using Android application. Okay, so why? Because it's an open source, so every person can modify their own OSs. Okay, and we have Blackberry OS. So Blackberry OS, everybody will know about this, I hope. And this is the research in motion, and it's a C++ only, and source model is closed source. Okay, so we already discussed about what is open source, so they can remodify their own company, or some other users also remodify, or some other users also develop their own application in their own PC, and they can install the application with their Android mobile phone, and they can check how it's working and all. Okay, so this is open source. So closed source is nothing but, if you wanna modify anything with your OS, you can't modify with that particular OS. Okay, so if you need those things, you need to install some other third-party apps. If you have available like that option in third parties apps, you can use that one. Otherwise, even in third parties also apps also not available, you don't need to have the permission to modify those parts. Okay, so this is one of the closed source. Okay, one of the example for closed. So iOS. Okay, even iOS also closed source only. Okay, so it's Apple, and then C, C++, Objective-C, and OS family is Unix. Okay, here you can see we have OS family not only for iOS. Even if you take an Android, we have an OS family. If you take an iOS, we have OS family. Other than that, if you take any Android OS, they have some families. Okay, so for example, what is this family? Okay, generally it's a general meaning of this OS family is generally if you take one building. Okay, so the building will have definitely the building will have some basement, right? So like that basement only the family. Okay, so if you take iOS also, they have some basement. The basement, it will be called as a Unix. If you take Android, they will call it as a Linux. Okay, so like that they will have some OS family. Based on that family only, they will over that family only they are building their own packages and own library files and all. Okay, so that is iOS. And now let me enter into the Android, and then we will see what is the Android and what are the things we have. Okay, so introduction to Android. So first Android, I already told you it's a Linux based operating system. That is, it's a family. Okay, so Linux based operating system, the family, based on that family only it's working. Okay, so Linux based operating system, and we have like Android was developed as an open handset alliance, Google and other companies. Okay, so this is an open handset alliance. Okay, and for this alliance only the Nokia like that companies will be not enter at the time, but now they entered, but at the time they are not entered. Okay, so first beta versions will be introduced by Google in 2007. Okay, it's a software development kit, that is SDK, introduced by Google in 2007, and the commercial version, that is everybody can use that version. that is public beta version will be introduced on September 2008. Okay, so first Google announced the next Android version is 4.1 Jelly Bean. Okay, so this is the thing we have, and why we are using Android. Of course, this is the important question. First thing is it's a open source. Okay, so it's a open source. Whoever can access or modify their own OS, that is open source, and it's a large development and community research. Okay, community reach. It's a large development and community reach and increased marketing. Okay, so marketing wise it's increased, and we have a app integration. Okay, so we can integrate our one, that is third party apps also we can integrate as a first party app. Okay, that is app integration, and reduced cost of development. Okay, so the development is reduced, and then higher success ratio. Okay, so these are the things we will use the Android. Okay, the future of Android. Okay, first thing is UI, that is beautiful UI. Beautiful is nothing but user interface. Okay, so generally if you take an iOS, okay, so if you take an iOS, generally from starting iPhone series like SE to now iPhone 10, right? So 10, 11 like that we have. So from starting to ending, they are giving for all the mobile series, they are giving an updates. Okay, so this is like we are getting update for each and every iOS update. Okay, but if you take a normally Android means we will not get correct updates, right? So that is one of the things. So in future definitely they will be reduced, and we will get a beautiful UI and connectivity. Okay, so connectivity we have like Bluetooth and NFC tag. So here most of the mobile phones we have a NFC tag, and we have some other connectivity like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi or network connected. Like this we are having some connectivity and storage. So storage, when we look on storage means we have both RAM and ROM. So definitely nowadays the storage is like at the before 10 years for 2 GB or 4 GB or 8 GB it's a big storage. Now 128 GB also it's looking normal, right? So storage is important for Android, and media support also important. Why? Because previously before 10 years if we download even MP4 or if we download MP4 type of videos, it will be not play in some of the mobile phone. Some of the mobile phone will be support only .3 GB or some other video format only. Okay, so nowadays even 2K videos also supporting nicely. So that is media support and messaging. So messaging we have used SMS or WhatsApp, anything, and web browsers, and we are using nowadays like Safari or Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox and all. And multi-touch, if someone will know about this multi-touch, like someone will use iOS means they will know about 3D touch, right? So like same thing we will use even multi-touch and all. And multitasking, we can run background apps also, and resizable widgets, and multi-language, GCM, Wi-Fi direct, and Android Beam. Okay, so these are the area we are focusing on future. Okay, resizable widget means if we are changing our landscape screen or orientation from landscape to like that to landscape or horizontal view, like that means it will be give resizable widget and multi-language, GCM, Wi-Fi direct, Android Beam. Okay, so these are the one of the future. And here the history of Android. First they released as a Cupcake, Android 1, and then Donut, and then Eclair, Froyo, and Gingerbread, honeycomb, ice cream sandwich, jelly bean, Kit Kat, lollipop, marshmallow, nougat, Oreo pie. So these are the things history of Android, but up to Oreo and pie, it's enough for like they are they are giving some chocolate names or some chocolate names for Android versions, but now they changed their into like Android 10 or Android 11 like that. Okay, so now from Android 10 onwards we will get an result, that is we will get a name as Android 10 only or Android 11 only. Okay, they replaced the chocolate names. Okay, so now introduction to Kotlin. So now until we discussed about just what is introduction to Android only, now introduction to Kotlin. So Kotlin is a programming language. It's introduced by JetBrains. Okay, so JetBrains is the one of the Google, that is first they only introduced the Kotlin language. So in 2017 only, recently only, Google announced the Kotlin as an official language for developing an Android application. But note one thing, Google announced 2017 Kotlin as an official language for Android development. But if you know Java, you can develop as it is same. Previously we developed by Java code only as a application, but now only they changed the language into Kotlin. But if you know Java, you can you can develop your own code with Java application and you can install it. It's not a big deal. Okay, so Kotlin is an open source programming language only, the combination of object-oriented programming language and functional feature into the Unicube platform. Okay, so the Kotlin has some of the, it's like a Java only, but it has some functional features. Okay, some Unicube platforms also. Based on that, we can develop. Introduction to Kotlin, and here you can see what are the advantage and disadvantage of Kotlin. Kotlin is an easy language only. Okay, we can learn easily, and runtime and performance also nice thing only, and it's a concise, and then interoperability, and then brand new namespace declaration and no static declaration. Okay, one of the disadvantages is the namespace declaration is not available, and it's a brand new. Okay, brand new means if you also start to learn the Kotlin language, you will be not get some nice sources. So if you are searching for Google anything doubts about Kotlin language also, you will be not get an exact result. Why? Because it's a brand new and we have no static declaration. That is, static declaration is not available. Dynamic declarations also available. It's not available. Okay, so these are the thing we are having both advantage and disadvantage of Kotlin. And about Kotlin Compiler. Okay, so Kotlin is the programming language and it's have a own architecture. Okay, so for example, if you take a Java, they have a JDK, that is Java Development Kit. Using the Java Development Kit, you will be install the Java virtual machine. Using the Java virtual machine, you will be run your original code. Okay, that is, if you will run your high-level language into an Java Byte code, and then you will be execute the output result with JVM. Okay, so that is the processing of Java. But here you can see same thing only for Java and Kotlin also. Here we have Java and Java compiler. So then we will convert our original high-level language into a Java C .java C file, and then we will convert into the Java Byte code. Then JVM will be give the output result. So this is the process of Java. If you take Kotlin also, it's same thing only. Okay, so Kotlin will be converted. Kotlin have separate compiler. By this compiler, I will convert my Java file into Kotlin language file into a Kotlin C, and then Java Byte code. Okay, so this is about Kotlin, and here you can see the Kotlin internals. Internals means the interior part of Kotlin, how it's working. Okay, so here when you are giving a Java code, generally I will send the Java code to the compiler, and compiler code will generate the class file, that is which is the class I am defining here, which is the main class I am defining here in Java code. So automatically it will be create that dot class, the name dot class, then it will be entered into the dot jar and then application. Okay, but here if you see the Kotlin working process, we have a dot kt, and it will be transferred to the Kotlin compiler, and then we will get a class dot class file and then dot jar file and application. Okay, so just like a Java and Kotlin is compiled language only, but before you can run the Kotlin code, you need to compile it. Okay, so before you can run the Kotlin code, you can compile it. The Kotlin source code is normally stored in the files of .kt only. Okay, so this is one of the major difference, .kt and .java. Okay, so if you are writing any code with Java, you need to use the extension of .java, and if you are executing any code with Kotlin, you need to save the code into .kt file. Okay, so generated classes files will be packaged and executed using the standard procedure and type of the application like that. Okay, Kotlin intervals and Kotlin versus Java. Here we have some of the things. So how the compilation speed for Kotlin and Java. Okay, so here you can see, here we have a compilation speed of Kotlin and Java. Like when we compare to here, red color is the Java, and as usual another one is Kotlin. So first compilation speed of Kotlin and Java is increasing. Okay, why? Because you can see the y-axis representing the seconds. Okay, Kotlin have for particular task, the Kotlin will have taking minimum 12, right? Minimum 12 seconds to complete the task, but you can take the Java code, it take only 7 seconds, okay, to complete the task. So that is one of the most disadvantage when compared to Java. And like that, we are comparing for n number of times, so we are getting an output graphics result like same or better than before, or before, like that we are changing. Okay, it's not giving an accurate exact output which one is better, but in first iteration I am getting an exact result which one is good one, but after this it's all are looking same only. Okay, so this is the way compilation speed and performance speed. Okay, so performance speed also you can see Java for 20 or 25 seconds, nearly 24 seconds we have Java is less only, but compared to Kotlin. Okay, so here you can see now we have a graph with changes only. Okay, all the blue color, okay, I think it's a blue, all the blue color will be have some higher amount compared to the Java. Okay, so the compilation speed, the performance speed of the Java is one of nice thing only, like it takes few seconds when compared to Kotlin. So here we have a print console statement for Java and Kotlin languages. So if you wanna print the any statement with Java, we need to use system.out.println and PANTECH e-learning. So this is one of the like biggest thing ever. Okay, I think if you are computer science department, you will be easily do this one in using Java, but if you are not familiar with computer science department, you need to focus on Kotlin language only. Okay, why? Because Java is hard language to learn, but they have some peak value for Java when compared to Kotlin also, but this is important. So code now mostly within, I think within few days they will be take it as an official language. Already it's taken only, but we can install even Java application also. Okay, and here you can see we can print in Kotlin we can print easily by, it's like seems like a Python language. Okay, print directly we can print the statement. Okay, that is the use of Kotlin and Java. And here we have constant and variable. Okay, how we can declare the variable and constant. So here I am declaring the variables. Easily string name is equal to PANTECH line, and then final string name is equal to PANTECH line. Okay, so here I am declaring totally 2 times with string name and final string name. But here you can see Kotlin, we need to use var or val. That is, if you want this mutable, okay, when you are creating any string, okay, this string will be a mutable, means you need to use var. Okay, if you creating one list or one string, within this string you need to do something with immutable, means you need to use val before the variable name. Okay, so first of all you need to know what is mutable and what is immutable. Okay, so for example, I am having the like PANTECH and then e we having. Okay, so I want to replace this e and change it into this lowercase e, means I need to use mutable variable only, that is var only. Why? Because mutable, if you are creating any variable with mutable, you can easily replace the word and you can save your new word. The address will be not disturbed. Okay, but if you are using an immutable variable, okay, that is, if you are using a val before starting the variable name, it's a mutable only, immutable only. So if you want to change this e as a small e, it's difficult to change. Better you can create a new variable name and you can execute your constant and variable code lines. Okay, so this is one of the important compared to Java. Okay, so here Kotlin have only few number of data types only compared to Java. So here numbers, character, boolean, array and string. But if you take an data Kotlin, that is, if you take an Java language, you can have like assigning the null values also separately. We have a return Java string, other names like that. Sorry, we have some other data type like Java and Kotlin. So Java, you can see, you can declare like this. In Kotlin you can declare. So this is a basic difference between data types. And here we have a MVP architecture. So that architecture is important, model view architecture. Why? Because each and every programming language have this architecture, MVP or MVC2 or MV2, like that. We have n number of architecture based upon the coding language. So we need to follow if you wanna developer. Okay, so if you wanna do any job with the MNC companies and if you need you need to develop some codes, means you don't need to focus on that kind of things. Okay, so why? Because it will MVP architecture, it's you need to focus on MVP architecture, then only you can easily develop the codes and all. Okay, so that's why we need to use MVP architecture. So first one view, and next one presenter, and next one model. Okay, so this is the MVP architecture: model, view, presenter. And here we have a comparison between MVP and MVC and MVVM. Okay, so MVP is nothing but the things we followed for the Kotlin language, and MVC we have another one, and MEM also another one. Okay, so dependency on Android APIs. Okay, APIs means if you need to use any third-party apps. Okay, so for MVC it's high dependencies, for MVP it's a low dependency only, and for MEM it's a low. Okay, for XML we have like this, and for unit testability we have difficult, good and great, and model view we have like this. Okay, feature available in Kotlin, that is lazy initialization. Okay, so features available: lazy initialization and late initialization, and data class, seeded class and extension function. Okay, so these are some of the features we will use, okay, lazy initialization, late initialization, that we will use on this. Okay, so tools to build the Kotlin setup. So if you wanna build one PC with the Kotlin application, means first of all you need to install the Atom 1.125 or now updated version, that current version you need to install. So this is for only programmers text editing only, like Notepad++ like that only. And then Internet Community Edition, that is 2016.3 or 2000 we have this version IDE, but now what is the version, current version, you can download it. And we need emulator, terminal emulator. Okay, so we need to use the terminal emulator. So for that purpose we need to use Genome Terminal. Okay, and here you can see programming language includes like all compilers of 1.0.52. Okay, so this compiler we need to install SDK also. Okay, so this is the tool we need to install in Kotlin setups. Okay, the features of Android, I think this is the last one, sixth one. So what are the features available up to Android 10? Let's see. Okay, one of the first feature is there is no iconic back button is gone. That is, it's an up to until Android 9 we used some buttons and we move backward or forward or home button like that, we used some buttons, but nowadays we are not using any buttons, we just using a gestures. Okay, using gestures we are going looking forward or backward like that. Okay, so that is replace the iconic back button. And we have finally the system wide dark mode, that is before that we have some dark mode third parties apps only, but nowadays finally we have wide dark mode. Okay, wide dark mode. Using that wide dark mode we don't need to install even third parties apps also. Okay, so this is one of the way. And next one we have a new theming option, that is the icons also changed, like theming options icons also changed. It's looking good. And then we have live caption transcribes media locally in real time. So this is one of the most upgradable one. Okay, that is live capture. Live capture is one of the most upgradable one. Why? Because if you before that in YouTube we seen like subtitles, right? So like same thing only, if you using your Android mobile phone, you can without any subtitles adding, you can capture the live capture and you can build the models. Okay, that is the live capture method. And big changes is for permissions. Okay, so permissions it's like it's upgraded, but compared to Android permissions, now recently iOS and iOS 14 released for all the iOS users. Compared to this, that is compared to Android, we are having a better privacy. Okay, they are giving, that is Apple users are having the better privacy compared to Android. Okay, so I hope next version they will implement like Apple iOS also. For example, if I wanna tell about that security means, for example, if I am installing any app in my iOS device, okay, so those app in background they are using any mobile cameras or microphones, any app in background using using any mobile cameras or microphone means automatically I will be get a notification at top right corner with one marker. Okay, whether it's a blue marker or red marker, it will be give the notification. So this app is using mobile phones or microphones like that. Okay, like that we are getting some iOS update, recent iOS update. So like same thing only definitely we will get in next update of Android also. Okay, so this is one of the important permission, app information permission update. Why? Because nowadays the permission is important, so definitely it will become in next few months. Okay, and then improved sharing menu, like we can share the files for everywhere, not only for particularly Bluetooth or some other sharing application. We can share even more, and then we have better support of foldable phones. We have like this, now they released LGs and Samsung are focusing on these foldable phones only, and we are nowadays we are getting fast charging, like 35-watt charge or 30-watt charge like that. But note one thing, if you have any fast charging support, okay, so don't use always the fast charger, okay, like 30-watt charger or 40-watt charger. It will be leads to drain the battery. So I suggest you to use some other fast charging, normal chargers, okay, like 5-volt charger. If it's a emergency situation, means you can use your fast charger, but mostly don't use fast charger for not an emergency situation. So I suggest you to use 5-volt normal charger for charging. Okay, so it will be leads to increase your battery life, and a few more like digital well-being and smart replay, like using some of the chatbot and closing privacy loopholes and 5G communication. So 5G communication also we use it. Okay, so if you have any question, you can ask. If you have any questions, you may ask. I will give you a reply regarding this session. If you have any question, you may ask using your comment section. I will be reply you. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe the channel and hit a bell icon, and you will be get a notification. Which type of battery can be used for safety? So I'm not telling you to use particularly this type of battery. So if your mobile phone having 80 like fast charging support, okay, so don't use the fast charging adapter for all the time to put a charge. Okay, so use some of the 5-volt adapter, that is normal adapter without fast charging adapter. Normal charger is there now, you can use that adapter for charging if it is not an emergency situation. Okay, so it will be increase your battery drain. Okay, and that is the important thing I need to tell you. So that's why I told you use maximum 5 normal charger. If it is an emergency situation, you can use your speed charger, that is fast charging adapters. Okay, so thank you all. I hope everybody will understood about this session, and if you need any detail, that is if you need any detail regarding upcoming events and furthermore information, you can contact me on WhatsApp 7010888841, and you can contact me on PANTECH e-learning, that is Telegram channel. Okay, so officially we have, you can join with us, so you will be get a notification. And if you have any furthermore, if you need any furthermore information or any workshop or webinars or internship or in-plan training like this, if you need anything for your college or for any students, you may contact to these numbers, Mr. Sendul Kumar, Mr. Srinivasan and Mr. Kumarasamy. Okay, so they will contact you. They will give the details. Thank you all. Have a good day. We will see you on another one nice session. Thank you.